eloquent introduction, I wondered who he was talking about. You want a definition of perpetual motion? Give the average Negro a Cadillac and tell him to park it on some land that he owns. Every now and then, I guess, we all think realistically about that day when we will be victimized. Life's final common denominator. That's something we call that. We all think about it every now and then. I think about my own death, and I think about my own funeral, and I don't think of it in a morbid sense. Every now and then I ask myself, what is it that I once said, and I leave the word with you this morning? If any of you around, when I have to meet my day, I don't want a long funeral. And if you get somebody to deliver the eulogy, tell them not to talk too long. Every now and then I wonder what I want them to say. Tell them not to mention that I have a Nobel Peace Prize. That isn't important. Tell them not to mention that I have 300 or 400 other awards. That's not important. Tell them not to mention where I went to school. I would like for somebody to mention that day that Martin Luther King Jr. tried to give his life serving others. Like for somebody to mention that day that Martin Luther King Jr. tried to love somebody. I want you to say that I tried to be right on the war question. I want you to be able to say that day that I did try to feed the hungry. I want you to be able to say that day that I did try in my life to clothe those who are naked. I want you to say on that day that I tried to visit those who were in prison. Yes, and if you want to say that I was a drum major. Say that I was a drum major for justice. Say that I was a drum major for peace. And that I was a drum major for righteousness. And all the other shallow things will not matter. Won't have any money to leave behind. Won't have the fine and luxurious things of life to leave behind. But I just want to leave a committed life behind. That's all I want to say if I can help somebody. As I pass along, if I can cheer somebody with word or song, if I can show someone who's traveling wrong, then my living will not be in vain. If I can do my duty as a Christian ought, if I can bring salvation to a world once wrought, if I can spread the message as the Master taught, then my living will not be in vain. Yes, Jesus, I want to be on your right or your left side. Not for any selfish reason. I want to be on your right or your left side, not in terms of some political kingdom or ambition, but I just want to be there in love and in truth and in justice and in commitment to others so that we can make of this old world a new world. And I know some of you out there asking, how long will it take? Well, I come to tell you, no matter how difficult the moment, no matter how frustrating the hour, it will not be long. Because truth pressed to the earth will rise again. How long? Not long. Because no lie can live forever. How long? Not long. Because you will reap what you sow. How long? Not long. Because the arm of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward justice. How long? Not long. And then I got into Memphis. And some began to say the threats, or talk about the threats that were out. What would happen to me from some of our sick white brothers. Well, I don't know what will happen now. We've got some difficult days ahead. But it really doesn't matter with me now, because I've been to the mountaintop. And I don't mind. Like anybody, I'd like to live a long life. Longevity has its place. But I'm not concerned with that right now. I just want to do God's will. He's allowed me to go up to the mountaintop. And I've looked over. And I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you. But I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. So I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He's trampling out his vineyard with his swift sword. His truth is marching on. How long? Not long.